Vintage-inspired fall decor without bold orange. There's a quiet kind of magic in fall, one that doesn't need the loud vibrancy of bold orange to be beautiful. Vintage-inspired fall decor embraces that softer story, where each object whispers tales of seasons past and carries with it the weight of nostalgia. It's about the warmth of candlelight on a cloudy afternoon, the texture of hand-woven blankets, and the muted tones of nature settling into rest. This approach to seasonal styling creates a space that feels timeless, soulful, and deeply comforting. When you decorate your home for autumn in this style, you're not chasing trends. You're crafting an environment that feels personal and enduring. Every vintage touch, from a weathered brass candlestick to a faded plaid throw, invites you to slow down and savor the season. Without bold orange, the palette softens into creamy whites, rich browns, golden wheat tones, and the gentle blush of fading flowers. Here are 10 ways to weave this vintage charm into your fall home, each piece adding heart and story to your space. Antique brass candle holders with ivory tapers. Nothing speaks of old-world charm like antique brass candle holders casting a warm, flickering glow. Their aged patina tells a story of countless evenings spent in quiet company, the metal darkened by time yet still holding its shine in the candlelight. Pairing them with ivory taper candles softens the look, making your fall evenings feel timeless and romantic. In a vintage-inspired fall home, the flicker of these candles becomes more than light. It's an atmosphere, a memory in the making. This combination works beautifully on a farmhouse dining table, a weathered sideboard, or even the mantel above a crackling fire. Avoiding bold orange lets the golden tones of brass stand out, complemented by the creamy elegance of the tapers. As the nights grow longer, these candle holders become both functional and decorative, setting the tone for cozy autumn dinners and quiet moments of reflection. Weathered wooden dough bowls filled with dried botanicals. An old wooden dough bowl instantly adds a farmhouse vintage feel, especially when filled with dried botanicals in muted autumn tones. Think wheat stalks, faded eucalyptus, dried lavender, and pale hydrangea heads, all in colors that feel like the soft side of fall. This arrangement not only brings texture and beauty but also celebrates the season in a gentle, understated way. The key is to keep the palette soft and organic, avoiding overly saturated tones. The dough bowl's natural patina and worn edges tell stories of use, making it feel as though it's been part of your home for decades. Place it on your coffee table, entryway console, or dining table as a centerpiece that feels both welcoming and steeped in tradition. Vintage linen table runners in muted plaids. Plaid is a classic fall pattern, but when done in muted tones, think soft beige, faded green, and warm cream, it feels effortlessly vintage. A linen table runner in this style instantly transforms a dining table into a cozy autumn gathering spot. The texture of linen combined with the faded plaid brings warmth without overpowering the rest of the decor. Layering this runner over a natural wood table enhances the farmhouse vintage look. Add simple ceramic dishes, antique flatware, and perhaps a scattering of acorns or pine cones for a natural seasonal touch. Without the dominance of bright orange, the table setting feels timeless and serene, ready for intimate dinners and heartfelt conversations. Distressed white picture frames with autumn artwork. Decorating with distressed white picture frames is a beautiful way to bring vintage personality into your fall home. Inside, place artwork or prints that capture the essence of autumn in soft, desaturated colors. Perhaps a watercolor of a misty forest, a vintage botanical illustration, or a sepia-toned countryside scene. This creates a seasonal focal point without bold, overpowering colors. The distressed frames add character, making it seem as if these pieces have been cherished for generations. Hang them in a gallery wall arrangement or lean them casually on a mantel. They work beautifully alongside other vintage elements, reinforcing a sense of history and coziness in your autumn decor. Ceramic vases in soft, matte finishes. Vintage ceramic vases, especially in matte finishes, offer a grounding presence in a fall vignette. Choose colors like warm ivory, dusty rose, sage green, or muted gray to keep the look soft and harmonious. Fill them with seasonal branches, dried flowers, or even nothing at all. Their sculptural shapes are beautiful on their own. These vases work well on coffee tables, shelves, or as part of a dining table centerpiece. Their simplicity allows them to pair seamlessly with more ornate vintage finds, balancing the visual weight in a room. In a fall home without bold orange, these ceramics provide a subtle nod to the season while keeping the palette calm and sophisticated. Woven baskets with cozy blankets. A woven basket overflowing with folded blankets instantly invites warmth into your space. Opt for blankets in soft autumn colors: oatmeal, taupe, muted gold, and gentle greens. The texture of the woven basket paired with the plush softness of the blankets creates a comforting visual that's quintessentially fall. Place the basket by a reading chair, near the fireplace, or in the entryway to greet guests with a cozy welcome. The combination of vintage craftsmanship in the basket and the tactile appeal of layered textiles makes this an easy, budget-friendly way to bring seasonal charm without relying on traditional orange hues. Hand-carved wooden pumpkins in neutral tones. Pumpkins are iconic fall symbols, but hand-carved wooden versions painted in soft whites, warm browns, or even weathered gray offer a vintage twist. These reusable pieces bring the harvest spirit without bold orange, blending seamlessly with antique and farmhouse decor. Display them on mantels, open shelving, or as part of a table centerpiece. Because they're neutral, they can be styled with greenery, brass accents, or dried flowers without clashing. These pumpkins are a timeless investment, a piece you can bring out every fall, knowing it will always suit your vintage-inspired home. Antique mirrors with gilded or distressed frames. An antique mirror adds instant depth and character to any room. Gilded frames bring a touch of elegance, while distressed wooden frames feel rustic and cozy. In a fall setting, they reflect the warm glow of candles, making the entire space feel more inviting. Hang one above the mantel and let it reflect your seasonal arrangements, or place a smaller one on a console table with a grouping of vintage objects. The mirror's frame, whether ornate or simple, becomes a piece of history that enhances the nostalgia and beauty of your autumn decor. Amber glass bottles with seasonal branches. Amber glass bottles have a vintage apothecary charm that feels perfect for autumn. Their rich golden brown hue catches the light beautifully, especially in the softer, dimmer glow of fall evenings. Fill them with branches of dried leaves, wheat, or pampas grass for an effortless seasonal touch. Cluster them in groups of varying heights on shelves, mantels, or side tables for a collected look. The color of amberglass naturally blends into a fall palette without overwhelming it, and their timeless style ensures they'll look just as lovely in winters or springs to come. Vintage books in warm, faded colors. Stacks of vintage books, especially those with worn covers in shades of cream, brown, and muted green, bring both visual warmth and intellectual charm to your autumn home. They can be styled as risers for smaller decor items, stacked neatly on coffee tables, or displayed in open shelving alongside other vintage treasures. The beauty of these books lies not just in their appearance but in the sense of history they carry. In fall, they become part of a cozy reading nook, inviting you to curl up with a blanket, a warm drink, and a good story as the leaves turn outside. Conclusion: a season of soft nostalgia. Choosing vintage-inspired fall decor without bold orange is about embracing the gentler side of the season. It's an invitation to slow down, to fill your home with pieces that have history and heart, and to let every object tell a quiet story. The result is a space that feels deeply personal, not staged but lived in and loved. By layering soft textures, muted colors, and timeless vintage finds, you create an autumn home that will never go out of style. It's a space where the golden light of late afternoon seems to linger a little longer, where comfort and beauty live side by side, and where the essence of fall is captured in the most heartfelt way.